right now. I feel it. Thank you, Jesus. No matter what may come my way. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. No matter what you're going through, His grace and mercy endure forever. He loves you.
What's your driver of PA 2715? PA 2715, report to your vehicle. You're needed there now. You have to move your vehicle, please. PA 2715.
Chosen generation, called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation. We are.
Voting for Labour. Me and my neighbor. Voting for Labour. Somebody say, "Whoa, we voting the comrade back." Yeah, we voting for Ralphie back. Oh God, me and my
massive meeting in constituency number 8 belongs to Labour. The constituency that belongs to Dr. Terence Joe. Welcome to constituency number 8. All the constituents from all around the island. But before we start off tonight's meeting, we're going to start off as usual with a word of prayer. We want to welcome to the microphone Miss Violet Newman, who will lead us in a word of prayer tonight. Miss Newman.
Praise the Lord. Father, we want to thank you, dear God, for your mercies towards us, God. We want to thank you, dear God, because you woke us up this morning in our right minds, and we are so grateful for that, dear God. And so tonight, dear God, as we come, dear God, for another meeting, dear Father, we ask, God, that your Holy Spirit, dear God, may just come amongst us this evening, God. Help us, dear God, to understand, dear God, the true meaning of labor, and to know, dear God, that labor is for everyone, because even in your word you said we must labor until the master comes. And so, God, we thank you because we are doing your command. And God, we ask, Holy Spirit, that you'll continue, dear God, to intervene, dear God. We thank you for the favor that you have given unto us, God. We know, dear God, that the enemy is out there, Father, and is trying his utmost best in whatever way to distract us, dear God, from the good work that labor is doing, Father. But God, we put a stand against him in the name of Jesus, God. And God, we ask, dear God, that those, dear God, who have gone astray, God, that they may come back to the fold, because, God, there is goodness in labor. We ask, Holy Spirit, that you'll continue to bless us, dear God, as, dear God, we go from day to day, God, spreading the good works of labor. As we look around, dear God, this country, God, the federation on a whole, we can see, dear God, that we have done our part. God, we have done a good work, God, and we know that, God, you would help us to finish it, God. We ask, Holy Spirit, that you bless our Prime Minister. It's not easy to be a leader, even in the churches, God. As long as you're a leader, the enemy would oppose. But, God, we thank you for the sternness that you have given to him. We thank you, dear God, because, God, you would build a hedge around him. And, God, you will help him, dear God, to be firm and steadfast, God. And, God, whatever the enemy has after him, God, that you would put a stand against the enemy in the name of Jesus. We ask, dear God, that as us as a collective body, dear God, in labor, that we may rally behind him, God. Help us, dear God, to bear him up in prayer, because prayer is the key to unlock anything, God, and any work that the enemy has to offer out there. We ask that you continue to bless this meeting, God. We ask, Holy Spirit, that you'll come by, God, and if the enemy has any plan, dear God, we rebuke them in the name of Jesus, Holy Ghost. We thank you, God. We thank you for the answer. We thank you for the love that you have given unto us as a Labour Party, God. Continue to bless us, God. There's no unity but in the labor, and we thank you for that. We ask that you hasten the footsteps of those, dear God, who are coming. Give them journeying mercies, Father, and even the Prime Minister, God. I pray you'll cover him, and even the ministers of government. Cover them in the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus. To the east and to the west, to the north and to the south, Holy Ghost. We ask that you'll come by, Jesus. Come by, come by, come by. We know you will hear the cry of us, dear God. We ask that you'll continue to bless us. In Jesus' name we pray. And at the furtherance of...
Let's give a word of prayer. We want to say good night to all our listeners via the radio. Those in New York, welcome to this, where we are a massive usual #1 in East Bass of St. Kitts and Nevis. Support they have shown, and they are saying that Dr. Joe is the best thing for constituency number 8. They are saying he's the best thing for constituency number 8. The people are saying they made a mistake in the last elections and they voted for Hamilton, and Hamilton hasn't done not a damn thing for the people of constituency number 8 up to now. And Dr. Terence Joe has come in such a short time, and he has begun to make changes from all the way up from Monkey Hill, all the way over into Atlas. Give Terence Joe a round of applause for the tremendous wonders he has begun to bring about to this constituency. That's a man who has not even been elected as yet. And I could see him in those meetings when we sit down. And he's asking about the things for this constituency. And you could see he's a man of passion. A man who is coming and asking for things that the people of constituency number 8 need to change their lives. And I want to commend Dr. Terence Joe for the tremendous work he's doing thus far for this constituency. Comrades, part of these meetings is a means of mobilizing the constituents for the big Labor Day march. And the big Labor Day march is next Monday. Next Monday is our big Labor Day march. But prelude to those Labor Day march, we're having some activities. Next week, Thursday, we're starting off with a public meeting in constituency number 3. I am told, sorry, this week, Thursday. This Thursday coming up. This Thursday coming up. This Thursday coming up. We're moving in constituency number 3. Where we're going to be doing it big and winning big with King Conwest in number 3. Give Conwest a round of applause. We're going down into Trafalgar this Thursday coming. And then on Friday, we're having a massive mini whistle stop. I didn't want to call it a motorcade. We're going to turn into a big motorcade. A big motorcade throughout the streets of Bastille with our Labour Queens. And we want all the people to participate in this massive motorcade. We have 8 beautiful contestants. All of them looking good. All of them looking good. Give them a round of applause. They won freedom yesterday morning and all of them sound nice. All of them sound good. I ain't saying who coming queen because any one of them can come queen. Any one of them can come queen because all of them sounding good. And then after the motorcade, we have a big rally in Central Street Friday evening. But comrades, I'm moving a bit too fast, you know. Because we have to go up the industrial site. We have to go up the industrial site on Friday. Midday Friday, we're going to the industrial site to speak to our ladies up there. We're going up there to speak to our ladies on Friday. You going up there too, you say? I can talk to you. Yeah. So we're going to be up there Friday. And then on Saturday is our massive Labour Queen show at Warner Park. And then Sunday, we're going East Bastille. We're going East Bastille on Sunday. Sunday, we're going to be in George Street. And you're going to hear this story with them. No story tonight, all the story going to be Sunday night. And then Monday morning, we're going to trample them to the streets of Bastille. I want to see me warriors. I want to see me Labour people Monday morning. Let me hear you. I want to see them. We're going to tell them where is march. And we're going to show them where is march on Labour morning. We're going to trample them. All of them who joined us, we're going to trample them Labour morning. Labour going to be big and Labour going to be massive Labour Day. Comrades, we're going to start off tonight's meeting. We're going to start off tonight's meeting coming from all the way in constituency number 3. We're going to start off with the King, the unstoppable force, coming from all the way from constituency number 3. We're winning big in constituency number 3. And comrades, I must say to you, that King Conwest has already started to work. You heard him on Thursday night talking about all that he has done in his constituency so far. Things that the man who was there before couldn't get done. King Conwest he's getting them done now. And I want you to give King Conwest a round of applause for the tremendous work that he's doing in constituency number 3. And help me to welcome to the microphone our king, the people's king, the king of constituency number 3, none other than King Conwest. Come to the microphone.
You must never, ever wake a sleeping tiger. Well. What fun trouble in the place? Some people around here want me go out on a rampage. This caused me to remember when I was 8 or 9, I used to provoke my sister every day. Until one morning she said she had enough this time. She retaliated till I still have this cat today. So all them people who taunting the King Conwest, take this lesson and learn from my mistake. Cause now I understand what my granny really mean when she said you should never wake a tiger from its sleep. So let them people know, never ever wake a sleeping tiger.
Labour massive! Labour massive! Can't hear you. Labour massive! Show me your voting finger. Show me your voting finger. Show me your voting finger.
Show me your voting finger. Raise up your voting finger. Show me your voting finger. Raise up the voting. All right. Me and my neighbor voting for Labour. Me and my neighbor voting for Labour.
Everybody in constituency number 3 voting for Labour. Me and my neighbor, we voting for Labour. Good night, Labour Massive. Good night, Cayon. It is so nice to be here in Lower Cayon. I bring greetings to you from the beautiful constituency and the good people of constituency number 3, who are now feeling how it feels to win big. They now understand what it feels like to win big. They now understand what representation looks like for the first time in a long time. Because now things are happening. Simple things that you don't even need the government for. Simple things happening in West Bastille. Cleanups happening. Contributions happening. All kind of things happening. Meanwhile, the representative down on Central Street with a placard in front of the bank. Things happening in number 3 because Conwest Maynard is winning big. And I want to tell the people of Cayon tonight some of the things that we have already started doing in our blessed constituency of constituency number 3. For many years, down in Limekeel, the Trafalgar South Stars has been making noise for some lights so that they can practice their football, so that they can elevate themselves. And we're making a push now from the lower league to the Premier League because they have lights to practice in the evening now. Put your hands together to the Honorable Asim Martin and Glenn Goes Philip. Deputy is essential, very essential. I ain't getting into that. But Limekeel now has lights until we have started our West Bastille Softball Cricket League. And the final started last night between Buckley's and Boys West Farm. And I think Boys West Farm gave Buckley's a good licking last night. But they're coming back tomorrow night with a vengeance in the second game. So come down to the Limekeel playfield and witness some good cricket. The youngsters in the area telling me, Conwest, this is something good. This is great entertainment. Let's do some more. They're calling me now for basketball. They're calling me now for football. The young ladies meet me, say they want netball. And that is what it's all about. Getting the constituency together, playing together, and loving each other. And that is what we're going to continue to do.
as we win big in constituency number 3. We have to bring back the community together. They have been divided because somebody was driving a wedge, telling some that things were done a certain way because everything has to be Douglas' fault. If you ain't get something, it's Dougie fault. Everything is blame Dougie. Blame Dougie for everything. The sun too hot, blame Dougie. The rain wet you down, blame Dougie. The water rough, blame Dougie. You can't pay your salary, blame Dougie. Everything is just blame Dougie. But we're going to get to that some more. Because in number 3, as I say, we're going to continue to win big. We have packed away Sam Conda in a storage container up in Lagreed. We're just waiting for election day to get the key and lock it. Lock it shut. And send him into retirement where he deserves to be. So we continue in constituency number 3 to win big. I saw a need that our youngsters, our children in school, had nothing to motivate them. Marcella had her scholarships in number 2. And so we decided in number 3 that it was time for the youngsters to have something to entice them and encourage them to do well in school. And for the first time in I don't know how long, students from the Bronte Welch Primary School and the Dr. William Connor Primary School have received scholarships for good work in primary school. And this will continue come the end of this school term. Put your hands together for the West Bastia Scholarship. We went down to the Cardin home and we asked what it is the Cardin home is in need of, and they gave me a list. And I've started ticking off that list. They needed a computer, so we provided a computer. We went down to the children's home. We asked, what does the children's home need? The lady told me, we want to start gardening. So we bought over $1,000 of gardening tools for the children at the children's home. People are winning big in constituency number 3. A young man came to me and said, Conwis, I'm a young fella. I have a number of young boys who hang around me. I want you to assist me in developing my business. Where can you direct me to get some funding so I could do some fishing? And today, the guy was able to buy his boat and get out there and start working. A small business, a young man. Another young man we did the same thing for. So we are winning big in number 3. I am not just talking. I am moving. I am acting. It's missing the tongue. Talk, talk. I don't want to be just talk. I want to show you my trophy. I want to show you my trophy. Even before election day, I want to show you my trophy. So we continue.
And they breaking a sweat. Hear them. Hear them. Cause they cannot calculate. Their equations don't equate at all.
So in number 3, people are beginning to understand what it feels like to win big. Could you imagine when we get the power of the pen? And we have a lot more things on the agenda. We have a lot more things to come. I see that there is a need for our youngsters in the community to have some more guidance, some more moral, spiritual, educational guidance. And so I want to start a homework assistance program where children after school can find somewhere to go and develop their character, develop their skills, and further their education with the help of people in the community. And we are going to push on that, the homework assistant program. We also see, I remember when I had to go to school, I had to go to Development Bank to get a loan to go to university. And so we want to develop a college assistance fund. We might not be able to pay for the whole university, but the assistance is so critical for young people who want to go off and further their education. There are good things to come. Good things. Up to now, we can't have something in Buckley's to commemorate the Buckley's uprising. And I've made it a point that we are going to have a Buckley's uprising monument. I have already spoken to the minister with responsibility for this, and we are going to make sure that this is a reality. Because you know what? Labor is the choice for this country. Labor is the choice to continue taking this country forward. It is the only real choice that we have. You see, because as I said Thursday night, Labor got the hardware. Labor even got the software. We got the ideas. We got it. The houses. We got it. The good-looking girls. What's down there? We got it. Hear them screaming? Roads. We got it. PEP. We got it. SIDF. We got it. Everything we need to make this country move forward, Labor got it. Men, we got it. Women, we got it. Youth, we got it. Experience, we got it. And springtime, we got it. Everything we need to move this country forward, we got it. Labor got it. And that is why for number 8, we got something special for you. The man called Dr. Terence Drew. And it is really an honor. And this is a serious thing I'm saying. It is really an honor to sit down among these men and women. It is really an honor. When I sit and I hear Dr. Drew speak, I feel good for the people of constituency number 8. Because he knows what is going on in every nook and cranny of number 8. And he just starts. He comes and he outlines everything that he needs to do for constituency number 8. You have a good man. And you have to make sure you hold on to him. I understand that last election, for whatever reason, you decided to give somebody else a chance, especially here in Cayon. But as you have said, and it has shown, you are disappointed in the representation that you're getting. You're disappointed because there is no representation for you. Dr. Drew will make the difference for you. The chief springtime man, Dr. Drew. Now I want to talk to you about something, about this springtime that we are seeing in labor. Every now and then people start to say change. They want change, even if what they have is good. But you see, labor is for all time. And labor is unique. Because springtime represents the change that you want to see. Springtime represents the change that this country wants to see. Because as we move on, as our experienced persons move on, labor has positioned itself well to take on the role of leadership through young people. So springtime is the change that you want to see. We don't want to see a change where you have almost all old people. Almost people who are in politics for almost all their life. There's no meaningful change here. What change will you get with Eugene Hamilton? What new ideas will you get? What will you get with Sam Kondo? Tell me. So the change that you want to see is in springtime. And let's talk about this word unity. Unity. It's a good word. A very good word. And not because someone uses a word means that they mean it. There is no evidence that the unity construct or the unity concoction is united. None whatsoever. Hamilton doing his own thing. Timothy doing his own thing. Amri up in the States saying we want secession. Mark down here saying we want togetherness. Grant want back the leadership. There's nothing united about the unity concoction. So let us not be fooled with the word unity. The only united party in St. Kitts and Nevis is the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. I don't feel anywhere by going into a meeting with the Dr. Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas there. I can say what I want to say. Nobody's stopping me. Nobody telling me I can't say that. In fact, I could remember one day I went to say, you know, me ain't gonna say that. Marcelo said, no, in here we say everything. Because we are open, we are united in our cause to bring further development to this nation of ours. That is our concern. We are not concerned about tearing people down. We are concerned about building people up. We're not concerned about sidelining one part of the country. We are concerned about bringing everybody together. Labor is for all. I remember as a little boy, every Sunday afternoon, my father used to take us for a drive. We used to say we're going around the land. Me and my sister and my mother, and we drive around the land. This is before 1995. And the roads used to be smooth going through Bastille. And when we reach Cayon, after Cayon, the road get bumpy. And it bumpy all the way around till I reach St. Paul's and going into Sandy Point. And I asked, why is it that only half the roads paved? And they would tell me the stories that Pam did not consider that part of the country as good people. They considered them as animals. They said that we should cordon them off and throw in grass. And that is what we can't afford to go back to. Because don't be fooled. The unity construct is made up of those very same principles. They haven't changed. The same people there. Because labor, as I told you, is for everybody. Labor is for all. And don't mind that they want to blame Dougie. You know, one of the greatest signs of incompetency is excuses. One of the greatest signs of incompetency is excuses. So when you hear CCM and Van Samry and Mark Brantley on the radio right now giving excuses, it is a sign of incompetency. When you hear Sam saying that his hands tied, it's an excuse. It is a sign of incompetency. We cannot afford to put any kind of incompetent construct in charge of this blessed land. We have come from too far. We have ways to go. But the team to do it with is the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. I am convinced of that. And that is the reason that I have joined this party. Because they are concerned about the masses. And as we said, as I said Thursday, we're going to get all 8 in St. Kitts. But all 8 is out of style. We want all 11. And so we're bringing everybody on board. Because this is not a time to mess around. This is a time to make sure that you have a solid leader in times like these around the region. Where St. Kitts can be number one in almost every measure of success for our country's well-being. Number one, and that happened under St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. And so, we banged them in 1995. We banged them in 2000. We banged them in 2004. We banged them in 2010. And in 2015, we're going to bang them again. I want to hear you say, bang them again. Tell them we're going to bang them again.
Are we ready for them? Let them know we're ready for them. Don't tell them so, that's how we feed them.
So labor is large and in charge. Watch the crowd here tonight. We large and in charge. I want to hear you. We large and in charge. And so we're going to bang them. We done bang them already. And we're going to bang them again. A pleasant good evening to Lord Cayon. I love you. All the best. And God bless St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. And God bless the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Love you.
Everybody voting.
Comrades, let us give King Conwest a round of applause. Comrades, that's Labour's representative in constituency number 3. Give him another round of applause. Comrades, they know that Labour is going to win the next elections. And we're going to win it big in all 8 constituencies. All 8 constituencies, comrades. You know why? Because Labour does do this thing in a scientific way. Every elections, Labour carries out a poll. And we did a poll last month. And you know what the poll is saying? The poll is saying Labour is going to win all 8 seats. All 8 seats in St. Kitts. And we go in Nevis. And they say we go in Nevis. Because they say in Nevis they want to go on with all kind of thing over there. And when the Prime Minister go over there, they got to run for their life. Because the Prime Minister come now. And they got to catch the boat come down. They got to catch the boat come down when they're up there and they think they're champion. They have one champion in this country. And the champion is the Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas.
We are the champions, my friend.
Comrades, the poll is saying that in East Bastille, no man can hold his job, can beat Dr. Assi Martin in East Bastille. East Bastille belongs to Dr. Assi Martin. And in constituency number 2, what's happening over there? What's happening in constituency number 2? The royal lady in constituency number 2. Give her a round of applause. And in constituency number 3, the man there sleep all night and all day. We have a good representative there in the King Conwest Maynard. Give him a round of applause. And in constituency number 4, the man who bring in the CPL to St. Kitts, the man who bring in cricket in July and August. Give Glenn Ghost Phillip a round of applause. And in constituency number 5, they thought down there was a Palm City, but I said to them tonight that constituency number 5 coming back home to Labour under Dr. Nigel Wilson. Give him a round of applause also. And in constituency number 6, you know what happening down there? They can't even find a candidate in constituency number 6 because we have the doctor down there, solid as a rock. Give Dr. Douglas a round of applause. And then in constituency number 7, the big belly man gone in. He up there in Barbados and chat all kind of nonsense. But tell him in constituency number 6, we have a real doctor in Dr. Gilbert. Sorry, constituency 7. We have Dr. Gilbert, who is the man in constituency number 7. And in constituency number 8, you're going to hear from him a little later. I want you to give him a round of applause to Dr. Terence Joe. Comrades, your sister, she in Barbados. She know what she got in Barbados for, Lord. You know what happened down there, right? But comrades, last week, Thursday night, we had a wonderful time over in Lodge. We had a good time in Lodge. We had a massive crowd in Lodge. And I want to thank the people of constituency number 7 who came out, and all the people who came out in constituency number 7. Give yourself a round of applause. Labour big and massive anywhere we go. They only got to hear meeting and the whole country there. Whole country there, they only got to hear meeting and the whole country there. Tonight, I want you to help me to welcome to the microphone the man who we went to constituency number 7 to listen. I want you to help me to welcome him to the microphone. None other than the doctor, our real doctor in constituency number 7. I want you to help me to welcome to the microphone Dr. Vance Gilbert. The man who will make sure that number 7 remains with Labour, none other than Dr. Vance Gilbert.
We are a chosen generation. All but to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who God says I am. What He says I am.
Where He says I'm at.
Let me see your hands over, people.
I know who God says I am.
Wave your hands high.
Where He says I'm at, I know who I am. I'm walking in power, I'm walking in miracles. I live a life of favor, 'cause
I know who I am.
I'm walking in power, I'm walking in miracles. I live a life of favor, 'cause I know who I am. Come on!
Labour Massive! Labour Massive, make some noise in Cayon! Labour Massive! Labour large and in charge. You know who you are. You are Labour. Full confidence, you are Labour. Make some noise in Cayon, Labour Massive. Tell Eugene Hamilton that it is springtime in Cayon. Labour is here, and we are here to take back what belongs to us. I bring you greetings from the people's constituency, the Labour constituency of number 7. I want to say a special good night to all those persons tuned in via the internet, via radio, all those persons across the diaspora, especially those persons in the Virgin Islands and up in New York. I know that you are tuned in and you're listening. A very special good night to you. And certainly a very special good night to the people of constituency number 8, to the people of Cayon, to the people of Shantytown. Good night to you. It is indeed a pleasure to be here. You know, I say that this is a good time to get into the politics. This is a good time. When I started on this one, people telling me, they say, Vance, you're a good man, you know. But now we're in a good time. You can't, you know, you can wait. But time has shown that it is a good time. Because the people of St. Kitts, the people of constituency number 8, the people of constituency number 7, the people of constituency number 3, and the people of constituency number 5, they have said that they want good leadership. Just now somebody sent me a text there. And I asked them, I ain't going to talk no more about the man down there, you know. But somebody just sent me a message that this man has gone to Barbados. Right now we're down there chatting all sorts of nonsense on the radio. You ever hear about anybody who said that they care about the country? You ever hear any politician come to St. Kitts and talk about what's happening in the country? You ever hear that yet? You ever hear Barack Obama gone to Russia and talk about what's happening in America? But what the guy down there and spreading all sorts of things about the country for? You know, it really angers me. Because just the other day, those jokers went down to St. Vincent, fooling off the people of St. Vincent, our good comrades down there in St. Vincent, who don't understand what is going on, telling the people down there how St. Kitts in some kind of crisis, that the people got things so hard, they got to eat out a garbage heap, that the people have no sort of vision, that the people are just demotivated and how life hard in St. Kitts. What are they talking about? Which St. Kitts they're talking about? They can't be talking about this St. Kitts. This St. Kitts that we love so much. People, I want you to understand and take this thing very seriously, because this nonsense that they are doing, going country to country, trying to bring down your country, is an act of treason. It is an act of treason. In the old time days, when you commit treason against your country, they used to carry you to the gallows.
in the old time days. They're lucky this is 2014. But you know what we're going to do with them? We're going to show them with voting finger. We're going to take them to that box on the voting finger day. And we're going to show them what labor is about. And we're going to clean up this mess in this country once and for all.
Show me your voting finger. Raise up your voting finger. Show me your voting finger. Raise up the voting. All right, me and my neighbor. Voting for labor.
And while they're saying all kind of things about us, comrades, the country running good. St. Kitts and Nevis running good. Well, St. Kitts running good. Because I hear they got problems over there in Nevis. But don't worry. We have a good leader who has intervened and has gone to rescue the people of Nevis. Even though they try to blame everything on him, the country is running good under our leader, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas. Just Friday or Thursday, the Agriculture Department had their open day. And in his presentation, the director was talking about some of the advances we have been making in this country. And I know for the people of Cayon, and certainly for the people of constituency number 7, agriculture is a very important thing. And the agriculture sector has been moving forward in leaps and bounds under this good Labour government. Since our transition out of sugar, we have gone into diversified agriculture. And now we have seen that there has been an increase in food crop production in 2013 of about 15%. There has been an increase in the production of mutton, an increase in the production of goat meat in about 32%. These things are happening under your good Labour government. And while they're saying all sorts of manner of things about us, this government has built over 4,000 homes. And you have just heard that we have launched the Independence 30, 1,000 houses again. Imagine that. Only under Labour, 1,000 houses. Just the other day, a young lady from constituency number 7, she came to me and she said, Doc, I have been trying to get a house for the longest while. I have X amount of kids. These are my issues. And year after year after year, this man keeps fooling me off. She said to me, I hope you don't come like him, and just fool off the people. I said to her, I said, look, you don't worry yourself. Me now watch no face. I come here to help each and everybody of the constituency. That is what Labour is about. For the good that we can do for all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and not just one set of people. The time for bad-mindedness has gone. The time for selfishness has gone. The time for greed and victimization has gone. The people of constituency number 7 can feel proud that finally you have a leader that you can talk about who will represent each and everybody of constituency number 7 equally, strongly, and with a heart full of love and care. And that is why I want the people of constituency number 8. I want the people of Cayon who have been telling me that they realize they have made a mistake. They had a good man in Cedric. Everybody says so. Cedric worked hard for the people of Cayon. Everybody said so. But the people of Cayon were fooled. And they got caught up with this man named Hamilton. But the people of Cayon are telling me that they realize that Hamilton is just a waste of time. He has been there for how long? And all he's doing is complaining. All he's doing is complaining and trying to find somebody else to blame. What has he done for the people of Cayon? But I want the people of Cayon to know that you too can be proud. Because finally and again, from constituency number 8, you have good representation in Dr. Terence Joe. Give him a round of applause. Cayon people, listen to me. I want you to understand. Dr. Joe He's a good man. And he will work hard for all of you. Doesn't matter if you're Pam or if you're Labour. He will work hard for all of you because he, like myself, understand the philosophies of Labour for the good that we can do for all the people. And that is why the people of Cayon can be proud again. And you have your chance just now to fix that mistake that you make. The good thing about life is that there are always second chances. And you have the chance to make it right. When election day come, I want the people of Cayon to vote overwhelmingly for Dr. Terence Joe, for you will have good representation in Dr. Terence Joe. So comrades, while those people overseas trying to destroy us, this country is moving on. And that is why, I say it's one party in this thing. Nobody else. All the rest of them do is complaining. Complaining about what? The people have getting opportunities. They're getting opportunities in education. People are going off to study. Scholarships after scholarships. We have been able in number 7 to get scholarships for some of the young people there to go off to study. Some of them right now listening to me from St. Thomas, studying in the United States, Virgin Island University. Some of them down in Taiwan. This good government continues to work. And even though, as my good partner Willie says, our representatives have betrayed us, they're going to Parliament every 3 sitting to make sure they continue to get the constituency allowance. Well, what are they doing with it? What are they doing with it? And that is the question. Next time you see Eugene Hamilton, ask him what is he doing with his constituency allowance. Ask Timothy Harris what is he doing with his constituency allowance. They are not serving their constituencies. When last they gone into Parliament and talk about something for you? When last you gone to them and get any sort of assistance? They are a waste of time. And that is why, even though they ain't doing the work, but they're getting the pay. You got good young men like Dr. Joe, Mr. Convis Maynard, and myself who are working hard, even now, out of government for the people of St. Kitts-Nevis. And imagine when you put us in Parliament. Imagine what can happen. More dedicated service for the people of St. Kitts-Nevis. One of the things that they are attacking, these jokers, they have been attacking very strongly the PEP. I want the people of St. Kitts-Nevis to understand, because I know you're listening. The PEP is a good thing. The PEP is a good thing. It is a blessing to the people of St. Kitts-Nevis. Just this afternoon, I was doing some research online. And Canada, just this year, has introduced a work experience program. They call it YES. Imagine that. They call it Youth Employment Strategy. We had YES already. But Canada has this program to benefit its young people from 15 to 30 years. You must have post-secondary education, and there are specific criteria for that. The employers must pay half of the salary for the participants. It is a good program in Canada that is working for the young people here. But listen to what I said. Listen to what the parameters were. You had to be 15 to 30 years old. You had to have post-secondary education. In other words, you had to graduate high school, maybe go on to college and get some subjects. And the employers had to pay half of the wages. In a little island, well, bigger than St. Kitts, in the Indian Ocean called Mauritius, they have a program that is called YEP, Y-E-P, Youth Employment Program. They have employed over 4,000 young people on that program. And it's the same thing. You have to be 18 or 17 to 30 years. The employers have to pay 30%. It has to be in a particular area, certain types of science, certain types of business and so forth. This is a good program for that area. Up there in United States, in New York, they have a summer youth employment program under similar parameters. In Ohio, they have a similar program. And in different places around the world, you have similar programs like the PEP program. But here we're going on in St. Kitts. We have a program. So far, we have employed over 3,000 persons on this program. Ain't just about the money. It's a training program. For when you don't get into the program, you are sent out there with skills that people have to pay to get. You are getting skills for free. You are getting paid to learn. Well, which part in the world are you hearing that? Nobody's saying, well, you too old, or you too young, or you didn't finish school, so you can't get on the PEP. Each and everybody have the opportunity to get onto the PEP. They have some people get on the PEP, they get a job, they lose a job, they go back on the PEP. Which part in the world you hear these things happening? I want the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to understand that the PEP is a good program. And when the Prime Minister say, walk with a pep in your step, it's for a reason. Walk with a pep in your step. Walk with your head held high, because what we have in St. Kitts and Nevis is a good thing. Tonight is Sunday night. And so we're talking serious issues. Because we want the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to understand that this Labour government has been working tirelessly for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Morning, noon, and night, they have been working hard. And we will continue to work hard. Because as it is said, it is springtime in Labour. You have young, vibrant, hard-working young individuals who have come a part of this team to carry the process forward. St. Kitts and Nevis is going in the right direction. And that is why the people of constituency number 7 are telling me, Dr. Vance Gilbert, that everything else is in the past. The time to move forward is now. And we are going to move forward with Dr. Vance Gilbert in charge. I want the young people to understand that this election is about them. This is your time. This is your time to invest in something that will benefit you for years to come. This is your time to understand that even though you say you don't like politics, politics influences your lives. Because the policies of the government that you put in charge will determine what will happen to you. If you put a government in charge who refuse to pave the roads because you support a different party, what you think will happen to you? If you put a government in charge who refuse to build houses because they don't want you to elevate from your standard of living, what you think will happen to you? If you put a government in charge who want to destroy the PEP program, what you think will happen to you? If you put a government in charge who want to destroy the SIDF, what you think will happen to you? People of St. Kitts and Nevis, understand that this government is a good government. It is the only government. And the next election come, St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party will be victorious once again at the polls.
This government good. Wait, this government nice. Good government.
So I want the young people to understand that you must get involved in the process, because this will benefit you. We are working to ensure that you continue to get opportunities in education. You must get your chance to go off and study if you want to study. If you want to be a doctor, you must get that chance. If you want to elevate yourself, you want to be anything you want to be, you can dream big under Labour and get that chance. I want you to understand that those young men who want to go into farming, we are going to provide the environment for you to be successful at farming. You must get your chance. I know some of you even now, you want your houses, you want your land, you will get your chance. You must get your chance, because that is what Labour is about. We are here to serve the people all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, Labour is a good government. Comrades, I want you to understand that we cannot sit idly by and allow these jokers to say all kind of things about this country. I want you, whenever you see these jokers, you must call them for what they are. For they are betrayers and they are Judases. And you must run them from your house. Don't entertain them. They don't deserve your attention. Do not listen to them because they're bringing evil, lies, and deceit to you. When you see them, run them and tell them, get out of here. We're going to chase them crazy bald-head people out of town.
Them crazy. We're gonna chase those crazy ballheads out of town.
And we're going to show them how we go. So on Labor Day, next week, Monday, I want all of you to get 10 more people, get 15 more people, full up the buses, full up the cars, jump on your bicycle and ride to town, and let us red up the streets of Bastille. Let us show them the power of Labour. We have to have the biggest Labour Day march ever. And we're going to show them who large and who in charge. Who large and who in charge. Labour is large and Labour is in charge. Comrades, thank you very much. Good night and God bless you.
Me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Show me your voting finger, raise up your voting finger. Show me your voting finger, raise up the voting. All right, me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Voting for Labour. Me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Somebody say, "Whoa, we voting the comrade back." Yeah, we voting the comrade back. That's why me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Me and my neighbor, voting for Labour.
Comrades, let's give Dr. Vance Gilbert a round of applause. That's the man with the swagger. Give him a round of applause. That's the man who got the swagger away, number 7. Give him a round of applause again. What you say he got what? Okay. Comrades, Vance is correct. Monday is Labor Day. Monday is the day of the workers. Monday is the day when we will march in the streets of Bastille. And we want all of the people to come out on Labor Day and march with Labour. Those of you who are interested in being part of the celebrations can go to the party office and get registered. You could be a majorette, you could be part of the bike riders, or you could be part of the all-red troop that we have in on Labor Day. First come, first serve. Shades of Red on Labor Day. So all those who want to be part of the Shades of Red troop on Labor Day, just go and register your name and be part of the Shades of Red. Comrades, we're moving along. We're going to move along. We're going to welcome to the microphone our next speaker. Our next speaker coming from all the way in constituency number 4. Wanted to help me to welcome to the microphone the representative from constituency number 4, the Honorable Glenn Ghost Phillip, the man who bringing the CPL to St. Kitts, the man who bringing cricket to St. Kitts, the man who put up the lights in the park, the man who put up all them bright lights in the park. Welcome to the microphone, the Honorable Glenn Ghost Phillip.
I got tired of seeing my face. Can't get me out of the race. Oh man, you said I'm in your place. And then you draw back yard. I make you draw back yard. And then you draw back yard. Propaganda spreading over my nose. Say you wanna bring another
Comrades, comrades, good evening. I'm bringing greetings all the way from constituency number 4. And to say to you that we are on track to beating the short ass again. Comrades, I'm here this evening to support my comrade and friend and the springtime candidate, Dr. Drew. A man who will bring back this constituency in the folds of labor once again. Comrades, when you listen to the radio, and speakers before me have been speaking the fact that some of our citizens are going off island to say all manner of evil about our country. But comrades, it cannot work. It cannot work, because when they go to these islands and speak ill of this country, all of the empirical data points to the fact that St. Kitts has been advancing and doing well. Whether it's an IMF report, whether it's education, whether it's housing, whether it's the quality, improving the quality of life for every single citizen of this country, this government is second to none of any other government in the entire Caribbean. And comrade, it's easy. I've never seen people so wrong in what they speak about. They started by saying that there's a crisis in St. Kitts. No one in St. Kitts can point to any crisis. They came back and they said to us, if you want to look at a model government, look at Trinidad. The government in Trinidad, 14 to 15 persons have resigned or been thrown out of that government. They said to us, if you want to look at a model economy, look at Barbados. We know what happened in Barbados. Over 3,000 persons have been sent home. And in St. Kitts, we have increased wages here for our workers. This is a government that is a caring government and a government of the people. I do not want to speak ill of my other Caribbean islands. But sometimes you have to make the contrast. You have to contrast what is happening here in St. Kitts. And when people are leaving our island to go out and speak to people, they know that we are the #1 tourist destination, cruise passengers here in St. Kitts. They know that. So when you go out there and you speak ill of our nation, when you speak ill of our nation, and the CDB, it says St. Kitts is on the move. The IMF, it says St. Kitts on the move. ECCB, it says St. Kitts on the move. No matter what they say, whatever they say, do not hold water, because we know that independent sources have decided that St. Kitts and Nevis is #1. Comrades, criticism is not a policy. And if you all look at what has happened in Nevis, what is happening in Nevis at this point in time, that these guys have criticized so much that they can't even run their own affairs. And when they get in problems, they're still blaming us for their own atrocities. We know better here in St. Kitts and Nevis. They're incompetent. And these are the people who want to run our beautiful island. A bunch of clowns, I call them. Let's look at the construction of this unity. We have one who wants to take bribes, who wants to take land. We have another one who Bloom Cooper said that is not fit to hold public office. We have 2 traitors. We have others who not living up to standard in good governance for this country. But comrades, like I said, they cannot fool no one. They cannot fool no one in this country or in this Caribbean, because we can stand to the test of time. Because you know why, comrade? The fact that we follow the principles of labor for the good that we can do. Comrades, I said earlier, we have improved our education. And I'd like to say, while here, I'm here, speedy recovery to my good comrade and friend, the Honorable Nigel Carty. He has been doing a tremendous job in education. And I would like to say to the citizens of Cayon and the citizens of St. Kitts-Nevis that our laptop program will continue. It will continue for every single secondary student in the Federation of St. Kitts-Nevis. And if you realize what has happened, we have now built a network, comrades, for all of the schools here in St. Kitts-Nevis. Wireless, so that when you go to school, the students go to school, they can now have access to the internet. And you know, about a month ago, I heard Obama saying that he's trying to connect all of the public schools in the United States with wireless access. But let me say to Obama, he late. He late. We don't do it here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Comrades, I have to thank the people of constituency number 4. For 4 years, I've been here toiling on their behalf. Over 400 lots of lands have been given out to the people of constituency number 4 in 4 years. And more to come. Over 89 houses have been given to the people of constituency number 4 in 4 years. And you know why that is so significant? Because in 15 years, PAMP built 44 houses in constituency number 4. And now these are the same people who are coming and trying to fool people to tell them that they'll be working on their behalf. But we know, comrades, we know for a fact that this is not about talking. This is about working. And I'll do all that I can to work on behalf of the people of constituency number 4 and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Comrade, my voice is giving me a little problem tonight, so I'll cut it a little short. Comrades, we're here. We're here as a party of experience, dynamic leaders, and youth. When you look across our competition, there is no way they can stand the test of time. I think Conway said it earlier. There's no ideas. How could you have career people who have been there with the same ideas come and say anything to you of substance? I'm amazed with the young guys who have come along. They're vigilant. They ask questions. And every single time, and sometimes I have to tell Congress or Dr. Drew, you're eating up my budget, man. Because they go through their constituencies and they see the needs of the people. And they want to improve the quality of life for everyone. Not like some who say that their hands are tied. I came into government and said to the Honorable Prime Minister and my cabinet colleagues, I needed lights in the park. I needed to put a network in the school. And they said, go right ahead. And I'm saying, there is no way that none of us hands are tied. You have to be creative as a leader. You have to be willing to work on behalf of the people. And that is why we are here this evening, and that is why we will defend labor. Thank you, good night, and God bless you.
Something's happening, and it's so exciting. People just having fun, one big celebration. Must be a really grand occasion. Something's happening that you shouldn't be missing. Dancing along the street, moving to soca beat, and all the women looking sweet. Oi, 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 oi. I see vendors doing good trade. Snow cone man got it made. People lining the street, feeling the burning heat. Want I in high demand, but people enjoying us fever.
Comrades, let us give Glenn Ghost Philip a round of applause. Minister of Sports, minister who has transformed sports in the Federation of St. Kitts-Nevis. The park is different now, and the park would not be the same. Come July of this year, couple of months, right after Music Festival, into July, CPL, July and August, CPL cricket right here in St. Kitts. Give him a round of applause. Under lights, cricket under lights in St. Kitts. Comrades, we're moving along. Help me welcome to the microphone the representative of constituency number 2, the Honorable Marcella Liebert, the Royal Lady of constituency number 2, the Honorable Marcella Liebert.
Natural beauty, you know. Yeah, no, I've never been someone shy until I seen your eyes. Still I had to try, yeah. Oh yes, let me get my words right and then approach you. Woman, I'll treat you like a man is supposed to. You'll never have to cry, no. I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind.
Comrades and friends of labor, good night to you. Labor women, good night. No man may hear that good. Labor women, good night. Thank you. Labor picnic, where you be? You sound like you went out last night. Labor picnic, let me hear you. Well, I miss you so much. Miss you so much. But we're back on the road. But at first, we want to express some condolences to the Cayen's family out of Molyneux and the passing of their mother, our comrade Catherine, and her family, Bernice, the nuts lady, my friend, and the other children, and the grandchildren and the rest of the family. Also to Nurse Agnes Archibald and her family and the nursing fraternity. To the family of Dr. Richardson, a gentleman who was just recently buried. He used to be the former campaign manager for this very constituency. Dr. Richardson, we also would like to express condolences on behalf of the party to the family of the late Dr. Joseph Archibald, who was buried yesterday, Kittishan QC, who was buried in Tortola. We also pray for all of those persons who are in hospital, who are sick at home, who are shut-ins, including Mr. Rogers of Law Fines Avenue, who is in hospital. Of course, our colleague, the Honorable Nigel Carty, who is recovering at home. We want to hail up Ingrid Richards in the United States. She's also doing some medical work. And Mr. Newton, who went back to the US today. And Arlene, who is also in the hospital. Yes, her sister Arlene. On Thursday, I wasn't here because I went to Bethesda right here in Cayon to say farewell to Reverend Nassel Ephraim. She served here as a minister of the church for over 5 years. She served well. And she's saying farewell, and we want to let Reverend Nassel Ephraim know how much we love her, and we're going to miss her, and we wish her well wherever she goes. So I went to represent you at that farewell service for Reverend Nassel Ephraim. I want also to say congratulations to a young lady from this Cayon area called Liburna Liberd. She's also known as Shadeen. She had the official opening of her dance school right here at the Cayon Community Center yesterday. Liburna is a young lady with a passion for dance. She's an accomplished dancer herself. I think her school is called Demure Diamonds and should cater to children ages 7 to 17. And I want again to congratulate Liburna and to encourage you, if your children are interested in dance, to sign them up, those of you from this area, with Liburna's dance school. Of course, I have to say congratulations to Garden Hot Spurs who win tonight. All the time Spurs, all the rest people like Newton and Connery and them got to look out for Spurs. Big up Spurs all the time. I also want to congratulate a young lady from Nevis Street called Beverly Hodge who launched her jewelry line tonight. I went there for a short time, an excellent jewelry line. So I want you, if you're interested in local jewelry, very nicely done, to contact Beverly Hodge of Nevis Street. And congrats to all of the Miss Labour contestants. Big up all the Miss Labour contestants. But I want you to know for sure that on the night of the show, number 2 will be number 1. Sorry about that. Number 2 will be number 1 on the night of the show. Comrades, we took time off for some time now. You had not been hearing us in meetings to respect the Lenten period, as we should. But there are those who showed no respect for that period. If we, as Labour, had kept a meeting during Lent, you wouldn't hear the end of the Christian Council and all the other people who would have been calling in to say they ain't gonna respect for God and so on. But we showed our respect and made sure that Lent was over before we back on the road. But you had some people who have no respect for God and no respect for all Lenten traditions. But you understand who they are. So it would be. How many of you listening to EK at mornings? Let me see your hand if you're listening to EK. All right, big up EK. EK is the best morning show. Big up EK. He does his research and he's communicating well. He is the biggest and most popular morning show because he engages them and he is in line with where the issues are. Because you see, politics is about choice and politics is about leadership. Politics is about choice. And so sometimes God does things that we don't understand. That's why in January, he put people in position sometimes just to teach the rest of us a lesson. And that is why CCM was in power in 2013. God put them there to teach the rest of us a lesson. Because sometimes you hear words flying like milk and honey from people's mouths. But when you listen to them now, you wonder where all the milk and honey gone, is only sour cream coming out. Only sour cream. All the milk and honey gone. Because they now have to account to people and they have some responsibility. When you don't have to account to people and you're in opposition, you can say anything because you don't have to account. And so there's lots of milk and honey flowing from their lips. And they had the answer for everything. Now that they're in charge of Nevis and in power there, crime gone upon them. They were the big spokesman on crime. What you hearing from them? Not a thing. Blame Douglas. That's the answer to everything up there. Blame Douglas. But I want to say a short thing about National Bank, because I was one of the persons who throughout this campaign has said that there's some things that must be above the politics. And I kept saying National Bank is one of them. Because whoever government is in, that bank is the bank of the people of St. Kitts-Nevis. And it must be above the politics. Because the bank helps the entire country. The bank knows no politics. But for some time now, don't fool yourself. It's a campaign against the bank, and it ain't just that. For some time now, you had some people on a platform just before this unity thing, whatever it is, telling people to take the money off the bank. They were actually telling people to make a run on the bank because they so want to get at Douglas, they think the bank propping up Douglas. I don't know what foolishness is that. And so they're asking people to take the money off the bank. The very people who say they want to run this country. Politics is about choice. Can you choose people who are trying to destroy one of the major institutions of your country? National Bank is the leading bank in the OECS. And you have people in this country who are trying to tell you to destroy your bank. But how you can vote for them people? Politics is about choice. And so you now have a situation in Nevis to do with National Bank. And if you hear Mark Brantley, this man who had milk and honey flying off his lips, all he bringing now is sour cream. You can't believe he's the same man. You can't believe because he has no answer. And more than anything else, I kept telling you, is when times rough that you know who real leaders are. Look at Douglas. When the waters are rough and they could bring you through, you know you have a good leader. But look at Mark Brantley. A little problem up there. A little problem. And instead, he tried to find a mature, responsible way to work out the problem. No. He goes on the radio ranting and raving and trying to tell people to do like him and take the money off a National Bank. Could you imagine that? He and one guy, Charlie, but say some minister of government up there, telling people to take the money off a National Bank. But here the joke with these jokers. They're telling you to take your money off a National Bank, but they want the same National Bank to give them money to pay. Where they getting money from? Who money you think National Bank using? Is me and your money? We who depositing we money there. So when you tell people take the money off, how you gonna go back to the same bank and ask them to give you money to pay? And guess who getting paid? Them getting paid too, The same Mark Brantley getting paid, The same Troy Liebert getting paid. But they're telling people to take the money off a National Bank. And these are the alternatives, you say? These are the people. Such irresponsible behavior, such immature behavior. Mark Brantley is still a politician in Pampers. He's still a politician in Pampers. But I think he knows everything. But he's still a politician in Pampers. Got a lot to learn. And when you listen to him, I believe what happened to him is that he loved Douglas. Think about it. He loved Douglas. He really wanted to be Douglas. I mean, this is a man, you hear him talk about Douglas. He know what Douglas pants be, and he know what his shoes be. I know he's not like that yet. He says he Douglas in Nevis wearing polyester pants and hard shoes. Well, he watching Douglas well hard. He watching Douglas pants and all. And he watching Douglas shoes. What a thing. So I believe that he loved Douglas. He see Douglas kissing babies. He say, why you don't go kiss some? He really in love with Douglas because he knows that Douglas is a great leader. And I tell you something, he up there from the time they in power, all Mark Brantley talk about is Douglas. More than a year now, 15 months of Douglas. But it's like some people, they mind everybody business. And while they mind everybody business, they's running away with them. And that's what's happening to him. Every time he come out and talk, it's Douglas this, Douglas that, Douglas the other. Meanwhile, he can't find the jobs for the people in Nevis. He doesn't know the answer to crime. All kind of issues he have up there with health. But every time he open him out, it's Douglas this and Douglas that. While we here are doing what we have to do. Ain't just talk. We are working. We are working. We have heard a lot about the PEP. And I want Nevis people to understand that Douglas has been the only prime minister who is looking after the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I listen to them and I notice that more and more of them are understanding that. When Douglas came, they said Douglas just started to go Nevis. When Douglas came into power in 95, one of the first things Douglas was trying to do was to put a federal office in Nevis. A lot of them didn't see the wisdom of that move at the time. They're protesting, they want Douglas in Nevis. Mark Brantley saying, want him there. Don't come up there, don't get with business. But they went into run into problems. They're still calling on Douglas. But Douglas will rise above them. Did you hear him the other day? The man is a champion. He will rise above them and will continue to look after the people of Nevis. My father from Nevis, I had the biggest Nevis name, Loibud. And we'll continue to look after the people of Nevis because they are brothers and sisters. And so we'll continue to look after them. And that is why the PEP is in Nevis. And we had a cocktail for the PEP just the other day. You don't want to see the overwhelming and warm response that Douglas got up there in that PEP thing. And that is what is eating Mark Brantley's heart out. Right now he's under a lot of pressure. And as I said, he ain't a leader. He needs to learn what leadership is all about. Instead of going out there and just making all sorts of irresponsible statements. But we continue to walk down here. And that is why I said to you, those of you who are in the PEP, all of you in St. Kitts and Nevis, come out on Monday and march. Come out on Monday and march. Because I'm telling you that without labor, there is no PEP. Listen to them and you hear how they're trying to destroy the PEP. They try everything. Every minute they got some expert on with FM. I like to hear the experts. Once they put them on, there's an expert. Everybody is an expert once they go on Win FM to talk. There's an expert. And the experts try everything to criticize the PEP and bring down the PEP. And when they're done, they say, okay, we're going in the street. So they send Ken Richards out there on the street. Well, the street people nearly messed them up. Because the people on the street understand the benefits of the PEP. And to be fair to them, once the people on the street had said what they said, they put them on. So you hear all the street people saying, yes, PEP is a benefit, yes. So they can't take it. So what do you think they do? They went to the IMF. Because they saw something negative to say about the PEP. They went to the IMF and asked the IMF about PEP. And the IMF said, PEP is a good thing. PEP is helping with unemployment in the country. PEP is helping with training in the country. So on every front, PEP is good. And I want all the PEP people to put some PEP in their step on Monday. Let me see you put in some PEP in your step on Monday. Come out with your families and march with labor. For without labor, there is no PEP. And we're doing lots of other things for young people. The New Horizons Center, we had an end of Easter concert down there. There wasn't a dry eye in that place. How the young people down there, the residents, learn so much from the program and they're able to put that program together. I want you to put your hands together for the young people at the New Horizons Center and for this Labour government in giving these people a second chance. We no longer see this as punishment, but as rehabilitation. We are trying to make sure that they can re-enter into their families and into their communities better than they went in. That is what the New Horizons Center is all about. It's all about making sure young people benefit from that. And what about our athletes who just came back, three of them with medals from the Carifta Games? One of the reasons why we're doing so well in athletics is because of that track up there, you know? Labour government, thanks to Taiwan, put down the best athletic track in the OECS, probably in the region, that our young people can train on. You go up there, you see all the sports up there, primary school sports, secondary school sports, because of our investment in our young people, because we know that that is our future, and we have to invest in them. And we're going even younger than that now. Why, my friend? Go up to New Road Housing, and you would see that soon we'll have a New Road Family Park up there for our very, very young children, because they need also to be able to exercise their motor skills. We can't just have them in front of all the technology, which is very good. They must not be sedentary. We must also provide alternatives for them. They must mix it with the physical. And that is what those parks is about. To make sure you have a place where the young people can play safely and to bring families together, or family parks. Very shortly, you will have the opening of that New Road Family Park, the only one of its kind in the region, because we're looking after our young people, even those who 2 and 3 and 4. From small, we're looking after them, because this is labor. And that is why families must join the march on Monday. Bring the family out on Monday. It's Workers' Day. And workers must bring out their families, because this is a working class government. A government looking all of the working class people in this country. And so you have to bring them out. We say politics is about choice. And so you have to choose whether or not you want a government that has just started Habitat 30 with 1,000 houses. And I want to say to the people of Central Bastille, our turn next. Central Bastille, our turn next. So on Tuesday, May the 6th, look out for the groundbreaking ceremony in the Pine Garden area, where we're going to start with 60 units for the people of Central Bastille. We started in number 4, we went to number 5, Central Bastille is next. Look out, this is a good government. Come out Monday and march. March for the 1,000 houses, and we don't build 4,000, you know. So don't think this is just more houses, because housing is ongoing. As people get older and they get their own children, they want their own space. And this is a government who understands that. And this is a government who listens. And so we are going to move into our housing on the 6th. But politics is also about leadership. It's also about leadership. And so I want to turn to why we're here tonight, to support Dr. Terence Omi Joe. Dr. Terence Joe, a humble man. The man's so bright, but he's so humble, yeah, you know, he's so bright. That's how humble he is. A humble man, a caring man, a people man. He's a people's man, he loves people. Some people only love you vote. Like a fella said to me, the first thing they ask you, you register yet? That's the first thing. They want to know if you're working, if you're eating, if you're sick, if you're well. No, you register yet? Only the vote they want. Your vote is important to us. But you know what? You are more important. You are more important. And that is why we invest in your children. They will say don't bother with them because they can't vote. But that's not the only thing that matters. We have to look after people and their families. That is really the important thing. And so you have a man here in Dr. Joe who is a leader of class. And so in number 8, the case is straight. We have a young, dynamic leader in Dr. Joe. The people of Cayon had an opportunity to see Eugene Hamilton. They've seen him in power since 2010. What has he done? What has he done? First of all, when you elect a representative for a constituency, you elect a parliamentary representative. You know that's what it's called? A parliamentary representative. You know why it's called that? Because they're supposed to go to parliament. That's why they're called parliamentary representative. When you see Eugene Hamilton, ask him the last time he went to parliament to represent your interests. Ask him the last time he went. But they're taking the money, your money, taxpayers' money, without doing the work, without going to parliament. And they said the name parliamentary representative. That's why you got to vote for Dr. Joe. Because Dr. Joe will not do that. When you vote for him, he'll go to parliament to represent you. Parliamentary representatives, but they're up and down the place doing nothing. But just going in to collect the money. And in talking about young people, another reason why you must vote for Dr. Joe. There's a program, 25 Remarkable Teens. This is not a political ceremony. It just takes place in the parliamentary building. But it's not a parliamentary session. It's not a political session. And every year, we invite all parliamentarians, regardless of which party they're from, to give out the trophies and awards to the young people from the constituency. Eugene Hamilton refused to come to the last one they had. He refused to come. Say he ain't coming to Parliament. He boycotting Parliament. But what he was in fact doing was boycotting the young people of number 8. And their families, and their friends, and their teachers who were there to support them. That's what he was doing. Boycotting them. Because you know what? They won't come in Parliament to mark the name to get the money. So they're really boycotting Parliament. If there was boycotting Parliament, they wouldn't come at all. So they're boycotting Parliament to come to a ceremony to celebrate the young people. But they're boycotting Parliament to come for the money what they're working for. So you have to make sure the next time around you get rid of Eugene Hamilton. Eugene Hamilton met Green Valley Festival vibrant. He said he from Cayon. He said he from Cayon. And Green Valley is a Cayon festival. That's what it is, a Cayon festival. And they include some of the surrounding areas like Keys and so. But it's basically a Cayon festival. And he said he's a Cayon man. And he met a vibrant Green Valley. Where is Green Valley today? Ask all the Cayon people there, regardless of what politics they be. Where is Green Valley today? Where is Green Valley today? He was able to preside over the death of Green Valley. Your parliamentary representative. You want to tell me he getting paid, he ain't doing nothing, and he could not even keep Green Valley alive. How are you going to run a country? How are you going to run a country? Can't run a little festival in the village. A little village festival, he couldn't run it. Green Valley died under Eugene Hamilton. Just as British American. So I want to know how you're going to put here to run a country. Another reason why you must vote for Dr. Terrence Joe. And I want you to know as well, Dr. Terrence Joe, he just come a couple of months. And the number of things he's already done for the young people of Cayon. Whenever we have some little spikes in crime here and there, unfortunately, sometimes Cayon is one of the areas that you look out for. What has Eugene Hamilton done to try to bring peace over here? Tell me one initiative that he has taken to bring peace to the young people of Cayon. Dr. Terrence will just come and he done go and talk to the groups, provide job opportunities for them, sponsor sporting activities for them, to bring peace to the young people of Cayon. Put your hands together for Dr. Terrence Joe. And Hamilton said he's the parliamentary representative and he live over here. Can people tell me one thing Hamilton do to try to help with the crime situation in Cayon? So like that when we hold a town hall over there, come out, he wasn't going out with Mike. That is his claim to fame. Every day he there, up and down in the vehicle, up and down, doing nothing. Says the parliamentary representative, you don't have to be in government to do certain things. You don't have to be in government to make sure that Green Valley is vibrant. You don't have to be in government to organize some little sporting events to try to help the young people in your community. Can we say in government you want a whole cricket festival, about 10 teams taking part up there? What that got to do with you being in government? Before I was in government, I started a camp in the Magnite area going on now for about 8 years. Every year, a camp for the people down there. You don't have to be in government to do something. You just have to love people. You just have to love them. You just want to see them improve and do better. And that is what you have here. Terrence Joe. Because politics is about choice. And what you have here is one choice. Because it's clear who the alternative is. Somebody who you vote for in 2010, nothing to show for it. Kill off a whole festival over here. Nothing at all to show for it. So whenever the time comes around, make sure that you vote for Dr. Terrence Joe and come out on Monday in your numbers and march alongside Dr. Terrence Joe to show your support for him. Come out on Monday and support the PEP. Come out on Monday and support women. That's another thing. What choice do you have, women? They ain't got a woman running for them in this day and age. when women are part of the development trust going forward, they can't even find one woman to run for them. And then when you hear them on the platform, they're so abusive of women. You can't believe you think it's woman abusing woman when you hear them. They're so abusive of women when you hear them on the platform. Abusing women personally. You go to a function over in number 7 and they pick out some women, Cheryl Richardson and Van's sister, and slash the tires. Imagine that. Abusing women. Just how they slash me tires down in Sandy Point. These are willful things that are set up. They know who Cheryl Richardson is. And they know who Dr. Vance Gilbert's sister is. Slash her tires. People who got to go home, women, some of them like me driving alone sometimes late in the night. But they come and they slash your tires. And then they say they got some people with them saying they're praying women. Well, may I hear them praying for that? May I hear them come out and talk out against the slashing of the tires of women? May I hear them come out and talk out against the abuse of women on that platform? May I hear them come out and talk about that? That is why women, you have to come out on Monday and march with the only organization that shows respect for women, that recognizes women for their worth, and that honors women. And while I'm on women, I want to say, when you hear Mark Brantley and them talking about National Bank is now headed by a woman, one of the most professional, one of the most independent women that I know, most professional in the business. So when you hear them out there talking as though, well, Douglas could just go in there and just tell everybody in there what to do, as though this woman who runs the bank has no self-esteem, doesn't know what she's doing, it's an abuse of that woman. This is an abuse of her, it's disrespectful of her. And I should apologize to her for being so disrespectful to her. The lady is a top-class professional in banking. Top class. And so Monday, come out and match women. Bring the men with joy because we love women too. So come out, everybody, on Monday and match with labor, because in labor we are making you happy. We are making you happy in labor.
If you feel like a room without a roof, clap along if you feel.
Whole country happy because Kitts-Nevis is leading. I like that digital ad, you see it? Happy SKN. I see Juni trying to do a thing. I don't know what he said, but you know he's trying a thing. You know my brother Juni, he's trying. He's a movie star now. Right? But that is what we're doing for St. Kitts-Nevis. And so I want to see you on Monday. Let me see the hands of all who are coming out on Monday. Yes, and bring out your entire family and your entire communities on Monday. So see you on Monday. March with labor. Stay strong with labor. Vote for labor whenever the time comes. Good night.
A long time we are waiting on the date, and now we get it. We're marching on to victory. Labour Party marching on to victory. Labour Party marching on to victory. Labour Party marching on. All right, marching on to victory.
Comrades, let's give Master the Library a round of applause. Our comrade, our Minister of Health, our Minister of Social and Community Development, from number 8. They have asked me to bring the Queen show, but they asked me to bring on to welcome everybody to the show.
This coming Saturday, May 3rd, to see me be crowned the 2014 Miss Labor. No. If you want number to get, they could come first one up. Anyway. Come out and see me be crowned Miss Labor 2014, but not only that, come and see your one and only become the springtime queen. Thank you.
Comrades, that's only a taste of what it's going to be on Saturday night. But all eight ladies are going to be beautiful. Give all 8 of them a round of applause. Because all of them are queens in their own right. Give all of them a round of applause. Comrades, comrades of labor.
Pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place for the Father of creation. Believe me, one love. What about the one heart? What about let's get together and feel alright? Everybody, one love. The Lord, and now we feel alright. Whoa, let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and now we feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. We welcome to the podium none other than Dr. Terence Umi.
Good night, Cayon! Good night, Cayon! I'm happy to be in Cayon! Are you ready to win the elections? Are you ready to get rid of the concoction? Are you ready for the next Labour administration? Well, welcome all of you to Cayon, and specifically Lower Cayon. I'm so happy to be here tonight. It is my first meeting. But what I want to do first is extend congratulations to Nassali Friend, who was a reverend here in the area, and she's now returning. And we want to thank her for the service that she gave to our people. Put your hands together for her, please. I have been meeting the people of Cayon for roughly the past month. And as I go door to door in Cayon, and I introduce myself and I ask them what is the #1 issue in Cayon, the issue of crime seems to be coming forward. And for me, the issue of crime is a very serious issue. And the reason why I say the issue of crime is a very serious issue is that no community can be successful if crime is a problem. Nobody can be comfortable in a community where security is not serious. Nobody can be comfortable in a community where they don't know what would happen to their children. Nobody can be comfortable in a community if they're not sure if they'll get home after they go out to work, or the children go to school, or they go to a community function. And so I've been looking at the situation of crime.
And I ask myself the question, why is it the representative is not taking the lead in dealing with the issue of crime? Why is it the representative is saying that his hands are tied when it comes to the issue of crime? But I think that if an issue of crime is to be solved, those who are elected leaders and leaders of other organizations must come together in order to formulate a plan to solve the issue of crime. And this is what I said to the representative, that he needs to do the work that the people elected him to do and help the Cayon community to solve the issue of crime. And the reason why I don't accept his excuse that his hands are tied is that in St. Peter's about maybe 5 years ago, a bit more, we had an issue with crime. And the people in the community got together and decided that they would get rid of the issue of crime. For crime cannot be solved only by using law enforcement. By locking up young, strong men, talented men, and throwing away the key is not the way to deal only with the issue of crime. But the issue of crime must be attacked with love. The issue of crime must be attacked with programs. The issue of crime must be attacked with interest into those who we feel are committing the crime. And that is why I say to the representative of this area that he needs to pay special attention to it. But I know he's not interested in that. And that is why Dr. Drew now is on the scene and he's attacking the issue of crime every day in Cayon. And since this is the number one issue, and since Dr. Terence Drew loves communities, and since Dr. Terence Drew loves people, and since Dr. Terence Drew understands that no society can rise above the strength of its young men, and if the young men are not taking leadership, then that community cannot grow. If the young men are not taking responsibility, that community cannot advance. For the young men are the strength and the backbone of any community. And that is why I'm taking the issue of crime here in Cayon very seriously. But I want the young men who I've met to know that Dr. Drew is not thinking about just law enforcement. I just don't want to lock up people and throw away the key. The issues that you told me is that you were unemployed. I asked the government, get these young men employed. The issue that you told me is that you thought that there were no opportunities. I've been asking for opportunities for you. The issues that you told me is that you thought things were bleak and there was no hope. And Dr. Drew introduced level of hope within the community. And the reason why I know that these young men are strong young men, they are talented young men, I pledged to them and I've told them that Dr. Drew would never abandon them. Dr. Drew would work right alongside them to help to solve the issue of crime. And it's quite interesting that those who we think would be the least to attack an issue would be those most interested in solving the issue. And so I went to all over Cayon and I speak to these young men. We connect. Because I come from the ghetto, they come from the ghetto, and I know the struggle. And so I test them in one specific area in Cayon. I told a friend I'm going to test them. And I told them that these young men are talented young men, and if given the opportunity, they will show you what they can do. And I went to a specific area in Cayon, and there was a community issue with somebody who was ill. And I said I'm going to use the same young men who people want to condemn and ask them, organize something to raise funds to help a lady who is ill. And to my surprise, in very quick order, it was well organized. And I'm happy to say about 2 to 3 weeks ago, I was able to present to that lady her wheelchair with the money raised by these same young men. I want them to know that I love them, and I love them dearly, and I will never abandon them. The relationships that we have formed, people may not know about them, but you and I know about them. The agreement that we have reached, you and I, we know about them. And I want you to know that we'll continue to work tirelessly hard to ensure that the issue is an issue that we can solve. And so tonight, I'm speaking from Cayon, and I'm calling on all these young men, strong young men, who can be upright young men, who have talent, can solve this issue of crime in their communities. Put your hands to the young men in Cayon who want to solve the issue of crime. Let us not condemn, but let us help people to build lives for themselves, their families, and their community. And where there was hate, we're going to replace it with love. And where the things were bleak, we're going to give them hope. And so we're going to build Cayon again to the strength that Cayon used to be. We want to see a strong football team again out of Cayon. We want to see a strong basketball team again out of Cayon. We want to see a strong netball team again out of Cayon. We want to see Green Valley strong again here in Cayon. And that is why Dr. Terrence Joe is here tonight. One of the things that's affecting me is the issue with the Green Valley Festival. A beautiful festival that I used to come to when I was much younger. And it's disappointing to know that today the Green Valley Festival is almost dead. But it is not dead. It is only hibernating. Because Green Valley, whether you know it or not, is a real springtime celebration. That is why it is called Green Valley. It is the greenery of the surface of the earth coming back, and people can see it. Green Valley celebration is about renewal. Green Valley celebration is about rebirth. Green Valley celebration is about people recommitting themselves. So all these relationships that were fractured, we have to rebuild them again. So that is why I say, let this be the rebirth of hope. Let this be the rebirth of love. And let it be rebirth of a community here in Cayon. And that way we can deal with the issue of crime. And that is why I tell the young people who have now taken over the Green Valley, do not allow any politicians to destroy your organization and your celebration. For in the past, we know that certain people went onto the Green Valley Organization Committee. And they did not organize it well. They killed the committee by the introduction of politics into Green Valley. And tonight from Cayon, I say, let's keep the issue of politics out of Green Valley. And so when you ask the representative, what are you going to do about Green Valley? He says, my hands are tied. You ask the representative, what are you going to do to build the lives of the young men in Cayon? He says, my hands are tied. When you ask the representative to provide a job for the young people in Cayon, he says, my hands are tied. When you ask him to organize a sports team, he said, my hands are tied. When you ask him to support community organizations, he said that hands are tied. Then these people in Cayon, you need to know, you don't need somebody who has tied hands. You need somebody who is willing to work, and Dr. Terrence Joe is here to work to solve the issues in Cayon. When a politician comes to you, who you have elected, and tell you that his hands are tied, that politician is actually lying to you. He is not being genuine. For I remember in St. Peter's when we had issues there, it were people who solved issues who were not elected to any political office. But he's elected to a political office, and he has the platform of the parliament from which he can speak. And that is why it hurts so much when I see the issues affecting Cayon and your representative is telling the people that his hands are tied. But we cannot accept that anymore. His hands cannot be tied. But what is very interesting is that he does not represent the people of Cayon. But at the end of the month, when he has to sign the check to collect that money, his hands are not tied. But his hands are tied to work for the people of Cayon. To drive around the whole constituency and back, his hands are not tied. But to work for the people of Cayon, his hands are tied. And we cannot accept that. One of the things that they like to do is evoke the name of Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi. I'm here to say tonight that Mr. Eugene Hamilton, you are no Martin Luther King and you are no Mahatma Gandhi. You need to work for the people if you want to follow in the footsteps of these people. Let me tell Eugene Hamilton a little thing about Martin Luther King, that great man from the United States of America. He was a humble preacher, a poor preacher, but a preacher who loved the people. His struggle did not belong to the rich, and he did not begin with the rich. He started with the poorest of the poor, garbage workers in the poorest part of the United States of America. He couldn't get poorer than that. And from them, he built an organization and a movement that became so powerful that it caused the United States government to respond to his needs and his calls. And so that is why I'm telling Eugene Hamilton, you are no Martin Luther King. For if you were, your hands would not be tied. You would be working on behalf of the people out of love and commitment. And for that, you don't need to be even in government. But you are more privileged than Martin Luther King was because you are elected to parliament. You can go to parliament and put the issues of the people there. But you have decided that you will not go to parliament because the government is illegitimate. However, the money is not illegitimate. The check you get at the end of the month is not illegitimate. But you are saying that the government is illegitimate. But it's really a demonstration of poor leadership on the part of Eugene Hamilton. Because a society that is led by anybody, if that society fails, it says that the leaders are weak. And if for the last 4 years he cannot help people in Cayon, it tells me that Eugene Hamilton is a weak leader. And all weak leaders must be brushed aside and allow a strong leader to come in to advance the community. And Dr. Terence Joe offers that to the people of Cayon. It is out of love that I hurt for the people of Cayon. It is out of love that when I see these young men and people condemning them, I feel bad. It is out of love that I want to work night and day for you. And it is out of love that I will never abandon you. And I want you to know that very clearly. Now, the issue that he's been talking about when it comes to leadership is that he's a good leader. But any good leader knows that if you're a good leader, you would lead. And if he was a good leader today, he would be the leader in PAM. But PAM had a convention, and Eugene Hamilton and Sean Richards were elected to lead PAM. But PAM was so weak that they couldn't elevate PAM, not because the people of PAM are weak, but because the leaders are weak. And that is why I tell the people of PAM to abandon the PAM movement, because your leaders are weak, because they have abandoned you. And Eugene Hamilton and Sean Richards, instead of trying to build an organization that started in 1960s, they decided that they're going to turn their organization over to another organization. And so they went and they made a deal with Dr. Timothy Harris. And without asking the PAM people what should they do with their political party, they handed their leadership over to Dr. Timothy Harris. And so now PAM is out and Ploop is in. PAM is out and Ploop is in. PAM is being led by Ploop. The other day I met a young man in Upper Cayon and he was wearing orange. I said, why are you wearing orange and not yellow? He said, orange is unity. I said, no, orange is Ploop. And they're confusing the people because the leadership in PAM is so weak, they just handed it over to Dr. Timothy Harris. And get what Dr. Timothy Harris said? Give it to me. I'm waiting for it long time. He tried to destroy labor. That did not work. And he has successfully destroyed PAM. And so the people in PAM, here in Cayon, the people are demoralized. The people are sad. If you get them one-on-one in their houses, you'll understand the pain that they are going through. They would not necessarily say it out in the open, but you know that the people are demoralized because Eugene Hamilton and Sean Richards have turned the leadership of PAM over to the party Ploop. And another thing in this community that very interests me, and Mr. Eugene Hamilton attacked me on the issue of health care. Mr. Eugene Hamilton is talking about health insurance. Let me tell you what Dr. Terence Drew is talking about. I'm talking about health care. And in this 21st century, we need to understand the difference between health insurance and what is health care. Barack Obama fought for health care. Mitt Romney fought for health insurance. Because in health care, the issue or this person at the center is the patient. But in health insurance, the thing at the center is money. In healthcare, you care about making people healthy. But insurance care about making money. And so, if you're talking about health insurance and making profit, you are living in the 20th century, and that is where Mr. Eugene Hamilton is. And it saddens me to hear Mr. Eugene Hamilton is still talking about insurance, because the name Eugene Hamilton and insurance should never go together. Should never go together. Should never go together, and he knows that. And so what Dr. Drew wants to bring to the people of Cayon, constituency number 8, and the people of St. Kitts is the issue of health care. Because too many of our people, we go bankrupt when we get sick. Too many of our people, when we get sick, sometimes we can't afford the medication. And so this caring government understands that something must be done about that, and something is actually being done. But my life's work in this St. Kitts-Nevis would be to bring universal health care to every citizen of St. Kitts-Nevis. What does universal health care mean for our people? Universal health care means that our people would have access to health care. It means that we would have an organization in healthcare that is promoting health. It means that healthcare would see about you living healthy lives, and it would not be about making profit as health insurance is. Another thing that is interesting me in this area in Cayon is the issue of man and the biosphere. This area of Cayon can become the first area in the English-speaking Caribbean to be called a biosphere area. Do you know what that means? It means that UNESCO is going to recognize it as a beautiful area where tourism and the natural surroundings can go hand in hand to create jobs and economic opportunities for the people in this region. And so when I went to that meeting, I had to go because I knew that your representative would never go. And so in this area of Cayon, what's interesting me most is that ginnery that you have in Spooners. What I want to see up there, that Spooners ginnery is developed to the point where it becomes a tourist attraction. So that people come into the community and they visit the ginnery. So that they can take away. The craftsmen can make little chains and little wristbands and different things so that people can go back to the United States and England and say that they were at the ginnery in Spooners, Cayon. And Dr. Drew wants to develop that for the people in Cayon. One of the other issues that is dear to my heart is the issue of scholarships. Because I think if people are given scholarships for tertiary education, they can do well. They can do better. And I want to see every family has at least one person who would have had a tertiary education. That's very important to me. And that is why the issue of scholarship is so important. And this government cares so much that you have scholarship to the United States, scholarships to Taiwan, scholarships to Mexico, scholarships to Cuba. And what disappoints me is when Eugene Hamilton goes around this community with a man by the name of Dr. Timothy Harris. For Eugene Hamilton is now asking Dr. Timothy Harris to help him in constituency number 8. Because he knows what's happening in constituency number 8. But it is the same Dr. Timothy Harris who had all those negative things to say about Cuba. And at no point did Mr. Eugene Hamilton ask Dr. Timothy Harris to retract those statements he made about Cuba. Actually, 2 doctors from Cayon studied in Cuba. Dr. Liebert, a specialist in dentistry. Put your hands together for Dr. Liebert. Dr. Natalie Liebert, Dr. Natalie Asborn, who works there in JNF. She also studied in Cuba. Jesse Summersall also studied in Cuba. And these are people who reign from Cayon and making Cayon proud. So on one hand, you are saying that these are good people of Cayon. And then on the other hand, your leader is totally disrespecting the country that offered them the opportunity to study. I think that that is hypocrisy. But Dr. Timothy Harris did not stay there. He went on further and he started to say that the foreigners bank water to come here. And I want to say clearly to the Jamaicans tonight in Cayon that the unity concoction does not care about you. They say that you bang water to come here. I want to say to the Guyanese who are here, stick with your labor. No matter what they say, stick with your labor. Because if it were up to them, all of you would have been on a plane back to Guyana. Because Sean Richards said that you all are here to take the jobs of the Kittitians. And I want to say to those who speak Spanish and come from Santo Domingo to stay here and stick with your labor. Because no matter where you come from, as long as you're willing to work hard to build this community, we want you in our country to advance the society. And I encourage all the foreigners tonight to think clearly, to pay close attention, and to know that when things were tough with you, this Labour Party stuck with you. And now you should stick with your Labour. Many people have been going around this community and telling the Guyanese and telling the Jamaicans that Labour has no use for them. They have been going around here telling them that Labour don't like them and to support the unity concoction. If you recognize, Eugene Hamilton doesn't even say Pam anymore, because Eugene Hamilton and Sean Richards, they have killed Pam and they have become Ploop. Tell them Dr. Drew says that. But I want the foreigners to understand clearly that the party that stands with you is the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, and you must stick with your Labour. I can't say it enough. But another issue that have been said here in Cayon, and I'm going to contrast myself from Mr. Eugene Hamilton, is that he has been going around the community and saying venture capital, venture capital. We must be very careful, because sometimes we go away and we study and we hear certain terms and we want to come back and sound bright and we say the word too, and we don't even know what is the meaning of the word. And so he's been going around, he wants venture capital, venture capital. But what we call it is startup capital. Do you know where venture capital comes from? Venture capital is a term that is from the 14th century. Eugene Hamilton is living in the 14th century, and if you want to live there, support Eugene Hamilton. Venture capital was money used to propel slavery. There were these men who were living in Europe who were rich, and these men were coming to the Caribbean and other places, say they're going on adventure. And the person who would give them the money, for example, the Pinta, the Nina, and the Santa Maria, these were used with venture capital money. And so they came here. And so that money was used to enslave our people. And behind that, they introduced insurance, which sponsored all of this. Eugene Hamilton is living back in the 14th century. The issue of venture capital, where these people invest in anything, whether it is bad or good. Look at what happened in the United States of America during that Great Recession. People had money and they said, let's go out and adventure into the economic situation. And they invest in all sorts of things that they know they should not invest in. And at the end of the day, the poor people suffer, the rich got richer, and the world suffered along with the poor. Just because of people investing in all kind of negative things, calling it venture capital. And that is why I have a problem with that term. And so that is his economic plan. Invest in anything that you want. And he represents a good example. For Eugene Hamilton was the head of an insurance company here in St. Kitts-Nevis that also made very bad investments. How can a man who ran a company that fell now come and tell you he has the answer for our economic situation? Huh? Can you really believe that? He invested money, promised people 8 and 9% interest. And all the people got back was nothing. Well, I cannot say the people got back nothing. The privileged people got back their money. But the poor people of this country who invested there, you did not receive any of your monies. And we know why that happened. And so when Eugene Hamilton come and say, I am an insurance man, I have the answer. Just ask him, show me your record. Don't argue with him. Tell him, show me your record. And his record would show that he's incompetent. His record would show that he's a failure. His record would show that he has no ideas. His record would show that he has no plans. Because if Eugene Hamilton was allowed to apply the same economic principles that he applied in that insurance company to St. Kitts-Nevis, today we'll be eating less than breadfruit. We might be eating dirt again. And so how can you elect a man like that? This is not a serious man. This is not a serious man. But Dr. Drew has joined a team that has sound economic policies that today St. Kitts-Nevis is #1 in the OECS. You can't get better than #1. We are experiencing a 1.7% growth in our GDP in time when other countries are in deficit. Our economy is employing people left, right, and center through the PEP program and other programs. And they want to criticize the PEP. The other day, some of the young men said to me, Dr. Drew, these people have been going around saying that the PEP is going to be finished and we won't have any job. I want to say to these young men that this Labour government will never, ever abandon you. I want to say to the young people of Cayon that Dr. Drew will never, ever abandon you. And so you can be assured that going forward into the future, if the economy does not increase as it should, I want you to know that this government will stand with you and ensure that you will have some sort of money in your pocket. So when they come to you and talk about PEP, remember how they used to talk about the PEP? They used to say the PEP bad. Don't join the PEP. The PEP ain't no good. They call it all sorts of names, and then they ask the young people, what do you think about the PEP? The young people say, the PEP is not making me rich. But where I had no money, I now have over $1,200 a month in the bank. Put your hands together for the PEP.
This government good. Good. This government nice. Good government.
So tell them take them out of the PEP. And I want the young people to know that Dr. Drew is here to support you, and the PEP is a good thing for many of you. But of course, we don't want you to necessarily stay at the level of the PEP. We want you to get that education or that training that you should get, and we want to provide more advancement for you so that you can farm small businesses and other things throughout the community. And so, the other issue that has been affecting me in Cayon is the issue of farming. And I have visited the farmers in Green Hill to see what's happening up in Green Hill. And I've seen some of them having difficulties, but I've seen also that the government have a system significantly up there in Green Hill. And Dr. Drew is here, putting on a old short pants. Because some of them, the old short pants is too old for them to put on. They're too neat to walk up in a farm. They're too neat to see where the farmers are. But Dr. Drew is not afraid to go where the farmers are. For wherever our constituents are, Dr. Drew is going to reach you. I'm going to route every alley, every nick and cranny, in rain, in sun, to reach the people eventually of Cayon to spread the good news of labor. And so what I want coming out of Green Hill is that Green Hill can become the food basket of St. Kitts, with farms producing produce that will leave there in the truckloads, that people will be engaged in livestock farming and will produce the meat that you need here in this country. And so I've been visiting there because farming is an issue for Dr. Drew, and I'm going to reach there to help the young men and women who participate in farming in that area. But look at what we have been doing in this constituency since Dr. Drew came. For the last 4 years, Eugene Hamilton has refused to go to Parliament, yet he collects the money and he has not done one thing for the people of Cayon. But look at what has been done since Dr. Drew been here. As I told you, the first issue was the issue of crime, and I continue to work on it. And I want the young men to know that my approach to crime is a policy of concern, a policy of love, a policy of hope, and not a policy of lock up people and throw away the key. And so they can count on me. I'll continue to develop programs and engage them and ask them every step of the way, what does the young man or young woman in Cayon needs in order to build his or her life? Dr. Drew is interested in that, and I've been attacking it. The other thing I've been attacking is the schools. Right now, Cayon High School is being upgraded. I asked the government, please, I'm the advocate for Cayon, help Cayon with their school, because the parliamentary representative does not go to Parliament to represent the people of Cayon, yet he collects the money. At the preschool, when I got there, they said, Dr. Drew, we need this and that. I asked them, where is your parliamentary representative? They said, 4 years now and we can't see the man. I said, well, Dr. Drew will be here to help the government to get to you to solve the issues in your preschool. And they are fixing the issue of the preschool there. The issue with roads in Cayon. It's amazing that almost every alley in Cayon is paved. Almost every alley in Cayon is paved. What a wonderful job Labour is doing. And even though over the many years, Cayon has not been an area where it is majority St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, we have not abandoned Cayon or the people of Cayon because it is petty politics to victimize people based on who they vote for. We're not going to treat the people of Cayon as they did to the people in St. Paul's. We're not going to treat the people of Cayon as they did to those in Sadlers. We care about the people of Cayon. We love the people of Cayon. And so whatever benefits St. Paul's get, even though the Prime Minister is there, Cayon will get it because this is a Prime Minister who does not only care about his constituency, he cares about all the constituencies in St. Kitts and Nevis. They ask about jobs, and immediately they start working on jobs and advocating for them. I ask them again, where is your parliamentary representative to bring these issues to Parliament? They said, Dr. Joe, 4 years now and we ain't see him. Can you please help us? Dr. Joe stepped up to the plate even though I'm here for less than a year. And I start advocating we have to give jobs for the young people in Cayon. I would not accept any less. And the government is responding and the young people in Cayon are getting jobs. That is what Dr. Joe is doing since he's been here. I've met a number of sports teams and they asked, Dr. Joe, can you help us? I said, Dr. Joe will help you because I believe sports can help a community and help to solve crime. And so I've stepped up to the plate to help this sports team. But where is Eugene Hamilton, the representative who collects every month some money from the government for being the parliamentary representative? I call him the parliamentary representative in absentia. The parliamentary representative who has selectively chosen to be retired. So if he had chosen to be retired from the work that he was elected for, then the people of Cayon just fire the man and let him retire for real. And that is why I'm asking you in these upcoming general elections, let's change our mindset a bit. And let's ask ourselves these questions. Who do we think would represent the people best in Cayon? You have seen 4 years of Eugene Hamilton. Who do you think would best represent the people of Cayon? Who do you think cares about the young people of Cayon? Who do you think love the young people of Cayon? Who want to advance the society of Cayon? Who want to see football big again in Cayon? Who wants to see basketball big again in Cayon? Who want to see Green Valley bouncing again in Cayon? Well, if you believe in Dr. Joe, then I want you to go out on election day. And you have only one choice. One choice to vote for the man who will work for you. One choice to vote for the man who will work for you. One choice to vote for the man who would back you up. One choice for the man who would not abandon you. And that is Dr. Terence Drew and the Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. Good night, comrades. Thank you. Vote Dr. Drew. Vote Labour. Have a great night.
Comrades, what a presentation. Give Comrade Joe a round of applause. That's the representative. That's our representative for Labour in constituency number 8. Give him another round of applause. Sound good. He hand in tie and he ain't blaming nobody. He doing his work. He working for Labour. He working for you. Give him a round of applause again. Comrades, that's a leader who ain't blaming nobody. That is a true leader for the people of constituency number 8. You realize everything they blame Labour for, you know. They blame the Prime Minister for everything. They ain't get the money in Nevis, they blame the Prime Minister. If we ain't come, they blame him too. But you comrades, you know what the latest blame me now? You know what the latest blame me? They say Hamilton was at the pub eating some goat water the other day. He falls asleep dropping the goat water. He said, Lord, Dr. Douglas again. Everything they blaming Douglas for. Everything they blaming Douglas for. That's the latest one they blaming Douglas on. Everything they blaming Douglas about. Comrades, even when they go to church and they go on the white shirt and then the door road down on the shirt, they say, Lord Douglas again. Me are sweating here. Who that want to be? Who you say that want me? You may call the name, you know. You not call the name. You know who they die up when they go to church and they're sweating in there when the Prime Minister come in and they're sweating. All they do is run down on the back of the shirt. Comrades, it's getting late. It's getting late, comrades. And we want to hear the Prime Minister tonight. Next week, Sunday, for a lot of that up in East Bastia. We're going to talk about a lot of them things up in East Bastia next week. Tonight, we want to welcome to the microphone our Prime Minister, your Prime Minister, the Federation's Prime Minister, the Caribbean's Prime Minister, the region's Prime Minister, the man who everybody blaming, the man who we love so much. Welcome to the microphone, our Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas. Come to the microphone.
People dressed in costume, food and drinking consume. Young people walking up, old people jumping up. Woman with child in hand, chipping behind a costume van. I see big truck keep coming down, kicking off heavy sound. So guy is all I hear, right from the start of the day. All color, creed and class, moving together, making mass. Oi, 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 something's happening, and it's so exciting. People just having fun, one big celebration, must be a really grand occasion. Oi, 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 something's happening that you shouldn't be missing. Dancing along the street, moving to soca beat, and all the women looking sweet.
I want to thank the good people of Cunningham, of Spooners, of Cayon, and constituency number 6, and of course, number 8, for being here with us tonight. Comrades, this is a massive public meeting. It reminds me of the meetings in the homeland of Labour. It reminds me of my own St. Paul's. Are you here? Are you here, constituency number 6? And I want to thank the people of number 8 for being here with us tonight.
A moment ago, I listened to Dr. Drew. What a wonderful candidate Dr. Drew is. What a wonderful candidate Dr. Drew is. He deserves our applause. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. And I want to thank the people, the comrades of constituency number 8, for finding Dr. Drew. I remember back in June and July of last year, when we were seeking for a candidate for this constituency, after Cedric Roy Liburd, the former excellent representative of constituency number 8, had retired, we went to the people in a poll in this constituency seeking for a new leader to replace Cedric Roy Liburd. And that poll overwhelmingly indicated that Dr. Drew was going to be the next representative of the people of constituency number 8. And tonight, he has lived up to the promise of the people of this constituency, not just Labour supporters, but all of the constituents of this constituency indicated that Dr. Drew was the better candidate. Tonight, we're here to do two main things in this meeting. Firstly, we want you to understand that the time is fast approaching for Dr. Drew to receive your support as the next elected representative for this constituency. And so we are asking you tonight, yet again, to emphasize why you need to vote in support of Dr. Drew. You need to make sure that Dr. Drew gets into the parliament of our country to represent you. We need to make sure that the people of this constituency, not only those who are in Cayon, not only those, of course, who are in Keys and Connery and Canada, not only those who are in St. Peter's and Half Moon, but everybody in this constituency, including, of course, St. Peter's, will vote solidly for Dr. Terence Drew. And tonight I want to submit to you some basic reasons why you should support Dr. Drew. And also to submit to you why, for the second reason for this meeting, you should march in support of Labour and Dr. Drew on Labour Day. Firstly, I want to submit that Dr. Drew believes in and has been living up to all of the core values of the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. This party was founded in 1932 during the very severe economic and social and political conditions that existed in this country during the colonial days. You would recall that 1932 was about 100 years after the abolition of slavery. And the conditions in this country, 100 years after the abolition of slavery in 1833, the conditions were very similar to those under slavery. The Labour Party, then called the Workers' League, decided that it must do something to challenge the status quo and lead our people out of abject poverty. Lead our people out of very, very poor, dilapidated housing and shelter conditions. Lead our people out of child labor and ensuring that everyone had an equal opportunity to a proper education. And also, of course, to ensure that sanitation and sanitary conditions would improve in our land and people have the right to health care, adequate health care, not the kind of health care that was being provided by veterinarians as they looked after animals. And so 100 years after slavery, labor was born. Labor was born on some core principles. These principles today form the basis of the Labour Party. Dr. Drew is living up, has pledged allegiance, like all of the other members on this platform. All have pledged allegiance to the core values of our St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, now 82 years old, one of the oldest political parties here in the Caribbean region. What are some of these core values? Firstly, we want you to march to ensure that Labour never ever turns away from being the party that provides equality of opportunity. No matter who you are, you could be the poorest person in this land. You have the opportunity to advance from abject poverty to working class, from working class to middle income, and from middle income to enjoy all of the privileges of the wealthy upper class. This party, over the last 82 years, has been ensuring that we never move away from this core principle and value of equal opportunity for all. A very second important, basic core value of our great party is putting people first. The interest of people must come first. The interest of all of our people in this country must come first. The people of this country must come first. And those in particular who adhere to the basic principles of the Labour Party must be able to enjoy the privileges of our great party since you adhere to its basic core values. And tonight we say, Dr. Terence Drew, people of Cayon, people of constituency number 8, he adheres to, believes in, and is committed to ensure that the Labour Party never moves away from its core values of putting people's interest first. Another important basic principle that he subscribes to is that there must be empowerment of our people economically, socially, and politically. What do I mean by that? We believe that our people who have been born without any kind of asset, those who have been born poor, you have the opportunity under this government to ensure that you have the right to aspire. And we want to empower you to aspire to greater things. For example, we believe that every single family must have the right to a housing, proper housing and proper shelter conditions. That is why, although we have already built 3,000 homes, empowering the lives of 12,000 people out of a total population in St. Kitts of about 36,000 people, we would have empowered by way of improving housing condition, the lives of more than a third, 33% of the population here in St. Kitts. This is a revolution that we have created, and it is a revolution that will continue. That is why we say a few weeks ago that we have launched Habitat 30. Another 1,000 homes will be built for the people of our land. And we say that is one of the core values of our party. We believe that you have the right to own your own home. You have the right to improve housing and living conditions. That's what makes Dr. Drew so different from people like Eugene Hamilton. Because when Eugene Hamilton would have had the opportunity over the last 4 years to help you become empowered, he keeps telling you his hands are tied. That is why I said to you earlier in a different meeting that Eugene Hamilton cannot perform. That's what he's been told. Eugene, you have let us down. We voted for you. But look there now, you can't perform. It's a waste of time continuing to serve the interests of Eugene Hamilton. You've heard Marcella say it. You've heard Dr. Drew said it earlier. He has been sent to Parliament to represent you. When the Parliament is meeting, where is Eugene Hamilton? Somewhere out of the Parliament. Somewhere no longer looking after the interests of the people of Cayon and constituency number 8. That is why I say to you, Cayon, constituency number 8, you will rise again under the leadership of Dr. Terence Drew. And you have a right to continue to support him, because he will continue to empower you in education. You think that we have ended in terms of our education revolution? No! We, as I speak to you tonight, have continued to revolutionize the education system in our country. We believe that the time has come for a revamping of the curriculum. We believe no longer must the curriculum be based on strictly academic achievements, but we want to make sure that this new system of education will also embrace what we call TVET, technical, vocational education and training. That's what we want. Every child in the secondary school must not only be taught the core academic subjects, but he should be able to be taught a skill, should be able to be trained in doing a skill, a trade that he can apply whenever he would have left school and would be an adult and lifelong trade that he would apply. We are saying specifically that education will continue to open doors for our people. It is the greatest vehicle that has moved our people so far from one stratum of the social society to the next. We want to make sure that Dr. Drew is here in this constituency to work with us to ensure that the empowerment in education will continue. Look at where we are today. Look at Dr. Drew himself. Look at where I have come from. We are the majority of the engineers, the dentists. Where are they coming from? From very, very humble background. You know why? Because we broke down the doors, the barriers that kept them out of universities. We negotiated with universities and colleges in North America, both the United States and Canada. We broke down the barriers of the former administration that locked our bright young students out of the universities in the Republic of Cuba. We broke down those barriers. That's why today, Cuba has become a partner in the development of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis by way of providing endless scholarships for our people to advance themselves and return home to keep and continue to build our great country. Empowerment in education. But what about empowerment in terms of health care? That is why we have introduced a universal health care system. If you are a student, a child, you have free access to all of the public care and health systems that we have. If you are a retired person, female of 55 years, a male of 60 years, or if you have a chronic disease, hypertension, diabetes, asthma, whatever is that chronic illness, you access the public health system free of cost. That's what we mean by empowerment in health care for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Dr. Drew believes in that. Every single member on this platform believes in that. And that is why we are saying that they will continue to succeed and carry our great party, not only through the last 82 years, but for the next 82 years in the future. Comrades, we are saying that another important core value that Dr. Drew believes in is pride in our country. You must have national pride. We cannot move our great country forward. We cannot maintain the #1 position in the Eastern Caribbean unless there is engendered within each of us national pride, believing in what we stand for as a proud, progressive people, believing in what our country is doing in moving forward to become the #1 in exporting manufacturing products to the United States of America. The #1, my dear people, in terms of our achievement in our overseas and regional examinations. These are the trappings of national pride. I told you last week, Thursday, of what has been recorded as President John F. Kennedy visiting Nassau many years ago when he was the president. And when he entered into the building where there is all the research, over there was all the research that was continuing to put the first man on the moon. He met a lady who was cleaning the floor. He asked her, we are told, "Lady, what job are you doing here?" And her response, "I am here working for my government, my country, to place the first man on the moon." She did not say that she was a cleaner. She did not say that she was one of those technicians, but she had adopted what had become the spirit of the American people to move them forward, to become one of the leading powers, and in fact, the leading power in world politics today. We need to engender that same national pride, proud of whatever we do. And that is why we say, cleaning the verges to make this country beautiful. Be the best. Be the best pep worker that there is. If you are the drain cleaner, do it with pride, with dignity, to make sure that your country is clean, it is tidy, it is sanitary, so that visitors to our shores will continue to come and come again as we build tourism as the productive leading sector in our country. Whatever you do,
Be proud of what you are doing and do it to the best of your ability. Dr. Drew believes every single candidate here on this platform, he believes in these core values of our great party. That's why Labour has continued to be in the hearts, in the souls, the minds and the bodies of our people. That is why you have been our voice. You have been our ears. You have been our hands, our feet. That is why we keep saying to you, defend the core values of your party. That is why we say, anytime your party is being criticized or your government is being criticized, you jump in. You talk first. You talk hard. You talk long. You talk last. And you talk again. Defend your great party. Defend your great government. My dear people, we believe as well in fairness and justice. That is one of the core values handed down to us from our forefathers, from those who founded our great party in 1932. Fairness and justice for all, no matter who you are, no matter what color you wear, whether you're a PAM, a Labour, a PLIP, or a CCM, or NRP, no matter what you are, we believe in fairness and justice in this society and country for you. Dr. Drew believes in these basic principles. That is why we say to the people of Cayon, if you supported Hamilton in the last election, don't become intimidated. Don't be afraid that Labour will reject you. If you want to know, vote for Dr. Terence Drew. No! Our arms are open. We embrace you. We believe that your party will not succeed in the next election. And so we ask you, join with us. Join with Dr. Terence Drew. Join with us because we are a party for all of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. My dear people, I want to submit finally that if you would examine where we were 1 year ago to where we are today, you would join us in our march the past as the country leading in the Eastern Caribbean with regard to foreign direct investment. If I ask you whether growth has increased or not, what would you say? Yes. What would you say? Yes. Growth in the economy. 1 year ago, it was negative. Last year, it was 1.7%. This year, it will be nearly 3% under a Labour government. My dear, if I were to ask you, isn't Labour the party of trust and confidence? Which party? Labour, is it not? The party of Labour is a party of trust and confidence, full confidence. That is why all over this country, no matter where we are saying one thing, one refrain: full confidence, full confidence, full confidence in the Labour Party and in Terence Drew. And if I ask you, what about our future? Is our future not PLIP and PAM? Submit to you tonight as we move country success most difficult period of recession. Doctor, it deserves to have re-election in the streets of Bastille on Labor Day, marching with one refrain, marching as King taught us how
and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Show me your voting finger, raise up your voting finger. Show me your voting finger, raise up the voting. Alright, me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Voting for Labour. Me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Somebody say, whoa, we voting the comrade back. Yeah, we voting the comrade back. That's why me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. And the massive voting. Alright, me and my neighbor. And when poor people, me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Somebody say. Me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Show me your voting finger, raise up your voting finger. Show me your voting finger, raise up the voting. Alright, me and my neighbor, voting for Labour. Voting for Labour.